everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I am back with my TBR for the month of July. I can't believe that we are already halfway through the year. This is kind of crazy. This first part of the year feels like it has gone by so fast. I've read a lot of books. I've gotten through a lot of my TBR, but if y'all remember, my TBR for the month of June was out of control huge. It was not just a lot of books, it was a lot of very long books. So let's look at how we did. I'm sure you can kind of guess. I'm actually going to hold them up in groupings because there are too many of them and I cannot hold them all up at once. Okay, I am going to start off with the books that I did read, and the list is not long. It's kind of embarrassing. I read The Beautiful and Damned, The Heart of Betrayal, The Kiss of Deception, Ruin, and Kingdom of Ash. And if you're looking at this list, yes, 3 of those 5 were read during the 48-hour readathon, and then the other 2 I read while I was on vacation. So this is not great. This is actually not that impressive of an amount to get through. I only read 5 and I think there were something like 19. So a little embarrassing. My next stack is even a little more embarrassing. This next stack is books that I have started but have not finished. So books I'm in the middle of. There are a lot. I have Jane Eyre, Daughter of No Worlds, The Beauty of Darkness, Fourth Wing, and Queen Charlotte. This is way more than I would expect to be on this list. Usually I don't have 5 books going at the same time. I mean, sometimes I most of the time have more than one, but I'm not usually starting 5 books at the same time in the same month, right? Like sometimes I might have some that have carried over. No, same month. It's fine. And then this next stack, of course, is books that I did not read. Here it is. Whew, this one's heavy. We've got some thick books. So we have Master Artificer, One Dark Window, the 3rd book in the Belgariad, The Bone Shard War, Alone with You in the Ether, and The Forgetting Moon. And there are also some books on the list that I just don't have a physical copy of. Glint, the next book in the Plated Prisoner series, was also on that list and I did not read. Shadow Casket, also on the list, did not read. Furious Love. Again, I am in the middle of Furious Love. I am actually a decent way into that one, so that one would have been on my list of books that I'm in the middle of. And that is all for these books. So as you can see, I didn't win. I didn't win for this month. It wasn't even close. There's not even a question. I felt like if I had done better, I might have given myself a little bit of a break because of how thick the books on this list were, but I did so terribly that I deserve a punishment. I will be adding another black hole to the board. I have another one. This is going to be the 3rd black hole on the board, which makes me a little bit nervous, but you know what? I deserve this one. I did so bad for the month of June. So let's go ahead. We'll get a random number generator, 1 through 34, and we will see what we get. Okay, let's see. 32. That is a much bigger number than I would like. I do not want that big of a number because that means I will go back even further if I land on it. But you know what? Guess this is going on number 32. Now, I am still taking the punishment, but I am going to be kind of nice to myself this month in the fact that I am going to allow myself to put on multiple books that I have already started. Usually in the past, I'll limit myself to like 1 book that I'm in the middle of. It's usually the 1 book that I still haven't finished from the month before that I'll carry over. But this month, I have a lot of books that I'm in the middle of. So if they fit prompts, if they work, I'm going to let myself put multiple books that I have already started onto this list. So that's going to be my little caveat of a little bit of niceness to myself because July is going to be crazy. It's going to be so busy. I'm going to have so much going on. I'm starting my clinicals. I'm going to a different state. And so, yeah, I'm going to have a lot going on and I just don't think I need to be too terribly mean to myself. Hopefully the game isn't mean this month. Hopefully it kind of got it out of its system the last couple months and we're going to be nicer. So let's put the black hole on and jump in to the first roll. Okay, here we go, adding our third, I guess, black hole to the board. Aww, right over a star towards the end. Fingers crossed that this doesn't come back to bite me. Okay, first roll is a 7. Ooh, okay, sorry, I thought it was gonna be that wormhole. We are good. Star prompt, and we get the first book that I think of. That's easy. Okay, first roll did not hit a wormhole. It was close, but we got a star, and the prompt was first book I think of, and right away the very first book that I thought of was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This book has kind of been forefront of my mind because it is the book that I am currently reading. So this book is going to be the first one that goes onto this list. This is hugely popular, particularly on TikTok, but I see it on BookTube as well. I feel like everyone is reading this. This is an adult fantasy romance. It has dragons. It has this very elite and brutal military school and a girl who is just kind of trying to survive because her mother forced her to go to it. So I am really excited to see how this book turns out. I'm pretty invested at this point. I'm maybe like a quarter of the way through it, so I have already started it. The sprayed edges are gorgeous. This was a gift. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad I have the sprayed edge edition because you just can't get it now. And I'm happy that this is the first one on the list. It is also my Patreon buddy read for the month of June. I didn't really mention this at the beginning, but I am filming this a week before the end of July. I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to complete my TBR, so I figured might as well film it now before I move up to Montana, so I will know what I'm going to be reading and know what books to bring with me. So yeah, I actually have a little bit extra time to read my July books. I have this last week of June as well, which is definitely a perk. I feel like I'm kind of sacrificing the wormhole and the chance to maybe not have the wormhole in order to give myself a little bit extra time and know what books I'm going to be reading before I head up to Montana. So this is the first one on my list, and since it is my June Patreon buddy read, it will definitely be done before July. So I'm going to have a July book done. Hopefully, I shouldn't jinx myself, before July even starts. I'm really happy that this is the first book on the list. Okay, second roll. Let's continue this nice streak. 6. I think that's good. Okay. Ooh, barely good. These are, ooh, we're getting real close. Okay, star prompt is a booktuber fave. Okay, we got very lucky again, missed the wormhole, and the star prompt is booktuber fave. Now, this one I'm kind of bending the rule a little bit. I am going to be putting on The Shadow Casket by Chris Wooding. Now, The Ember Blade is the first book in the series, and one of my friends on BookTube, Andrew, read it, gave it 5 stars. So I kind of feel like if someone gives it 5 stars, I'm going to kind of put it into the faves category. And since this is a sequel, I'm just going to go with that because he hasn't read this one yet. We're going to be budding reading this one together. And so this is going to be my choice for it, bending the rules a little bit, but I'm giving it to myself because I've had a rough couple of months and I think I've earned bending the rules a little bit. So this, like I said, is the sequel to The Ember Blade. I read The Ember Blade last month and absolutely loved it. It was so well written. It's just a very classic fantasy story about this boy whose father is like considered a traitor and then he is thrown into a prison. It is set in this world where one of the countries has kind of taken over a significant portion of the world and is treating the people from those countries as lesser citizens. There's discontent, there's attempted uprisings, and we are following this young boy at the beginning. We start out following him, and it has a lot of the really familiar fantasy tropes like a journey, a quest, found family, and I really am enjoying it a lot. I loved how it was written. I was very engaged in the story, and I can't wait to see where we go with this. I'm really excited to see what the author does with this next installment in the series. I don't know how long the series is going to be, but these are chunky books, so hopefully I don't get too many more thick books on here. I can't have a repeat of last month. Coming up to the first black hole. Hopefully we can miss it. 2. Well, we definitely missed it. Yeah, no. Okay, barely jumped over that wormhole. Let's see what our prompt is. We get a mood read. Yes, best prompt there is. Okay, this next prompt is my absolute favorite to get. It was a star prompt, and for that one, it is mood read, which I'm really excited about. I love having mood read on here because then throughout the month, I can just kind of pick a book that I want to read. I can count anything towards this, which I love, and I am not positive which book I'm going to read at this point. I am kind of guessing that it might end up being a sequel to one of the books that I'm reading right now. I could see it being like the sequel to Daughter of No Worlds. I could maybe see myself throwing Forgetting Moon on there, like counting that one because I was planning on reading it in June, didn't get to it, so that one could go on. The Bone Shard War potentially could be one that I could choose for that as well. So I just think it's probably going to end up being like a sequel or maybe a buddy read that I end up throwing on for this. But yeah, I am very excited that the game gave me this. It's being a little bit nice for only giving me a 2. So come on, give me a number a little bit bigger. 8. I like it. I like it. Whew. Okay. And another star. Have we gotten anything besides stars? I don't think so, but we are past the first black hole. Let's keep these good vibes going. The prompt is audiobook. Lovely. Okay, another star prompt. We are getting all star prompts this game, and the prompt is audiobook. And for this one, I'm going to throw Jane Eyre on there. I am reading it both physically and via audiobook, so I feel like this is a perfect choice. I don't really love the audiobook narrator, to be honest. We're following this very young girl, young Jane Eyre, at the beginning of this book, and the person narrating has a very elderly female voice, and so it just doesn't really fit with the character in my opinion, but I will still continue doing both audiobook and physical reading for this one. I am quite enjoying it so far, kind of intrigued. I'm not really super invested. I don't really know what to expect from all of this. I heard it's like a dark gothic, a little bit of a mystery thriller with some romance thrown in there. I'm just hoping for a lot of good vibes in this. I haven't quite gotten them yet, to be honest, but I'm hoping they're coming. Come on, good numbers. Be nice. 11. Ooh, that's beautiful, but I have no idea where it lands me. And wow. The like stress of that. Whew, okay. Wow, this is a perfect spot. This is perfect. I'm so happy. Okay, what's our prompt? A book with a weapon on the cover, definitely doable. I read a lot of fantasy. Holy cow, this is our final prompt. This has been a great game. I'm so happy. Sorry, the prompt was a moon prompt, and it was weapon on the cover, and for this I am going with The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This is the third and final book in the Remnant Chronicles, and she is holding a sword, and then all these people in the background are also holding weapons. I have barely started this book. I think I'm like 50 pages into it maybe, so I'm really not that far into it, but I have already started it, so it gives me a little bit of a head start. Hopefully this works out, but I am really excited to put on like a final book of a series because I do feel very accomplished when I finish them. I read the first 2 books in the series when I was on vacation in Mexico. It was a lot of fun to be able to just binge through a couple books in the same series. This is a YA fantasy series that follows a young girl who is promised in marriage to the king of another country, but then she runs away to avoid this marriage, and we have her POV and then the 2 men who are sent after her. One is the prince and one is an assassin, and we do not know which is which in the first book. So I thought it was a really interesting way to write the first book. I am intrigued to see where the series finishes out. It's not a favorite for me by any means, but I definitely want to see where we go. I just think some of the directions we went in, I am not like I would have preferred something else. But overall, I'm excited to finish it, and I am really excited that this was the final roll of the game. Well, this next one will be the final roll of the game. We're going to the spinner wheel no matter what. July TBR is so much nicer to me. Last roll, doesn't really matter what we get. We get 6. Perfect. Boom. Oh, that game was so much nicer to me. Now all we need to do is the spinner wheel. Whew, this was a good month. I am very pleased. Okay, that is it. We have finished our final roll, we can move on to the spinner wheel portion of the game. I'm feeling really good about this. I feel like I am very confident in the fact that I'm going to be able to complete this TBR. I mean, unless I have to spin like 5 times, which has never happened before. I don't think I've ever had to do more than once. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm feeling very confident that I'll be able to finish this TBR. So I'm not even nervous about what prompt it's going to give me, but for those of you who are new here, I spin a wheel of prompts, then I have 10 seconds to find a book that fits that prompt, or I have to spin the wheel again. And if I spin the prompt that I got last month, I also have to spin again. Let me check what that prompt was. Adult fantasy was the second prompt that we got last month because we did have to spin again. So anything but adult fantasy and we're good. Okay, here we go. TikTok, okay. Okay, I have my stack here. Yes, here we go. Got it. I'm so excited. I'm definitely within my 10-second limit. So I'm going to be going with Daughter of No World by Carissa Broadbent. This was gifted to me by the amazing Monet. She's awesome. Check out her channel if you have not. But I am going to be reading this one, continuing reading this one. I've already started it and I am about 140 pages in. So this book is going to be continued to be read this month. I'm really excited about it. So far, I'm intrigued. I feel like sometimes in fantasy romances, it takes me a little while to get invested into it, especially if they have some slow burn romance and like some slower world building, which totally fine. I'm fine with that. But yes, I am slowly getting invested in this, really hoping I love it. So yeah, final book on the list. That's it. We're done. This is all the books for the month of July. It still feels like it's a decent amount, but way more manageable than last month. So let's check them out. Okay, here is our very reasonable stack. I feel like this is so doable. I feel so much more confident this month than I have the last couple months. So we have Jane Eyre for an audiobook. We have The Beauty of Darkness for a book with a weapon on the cover. We have Fourth Wing for the first book that I thought of, The Shadow Casket for a booktuber fave, and Daughter of No World for a TikTok spinner wheel pick. This is so much more manageable. I am definitely feeling very confident in this, especially because I will be driving up to Montana as well, so I will be able to listen to like 9+ hours of audiobook, and I should be able to knock out probably one whole book listening to an audiobook on the way up there. So just that drive alone is going to get me through one, and I have an extra week, like I said, because I am filming this so early in the month because I will be moving. Well, kind of moving for a couple months. So yeah, I'm feeling very confident in this. I'm feeling really excited about a lot of these books as well. I'm going to be finishing some books I've started, finishing out a series as well. So overall, I'm really happy with what the game gave me for this month. And another book that will be added onto this list is going to be The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So this is going to be my Patreon buddy read for the month of July. Last month in June, well, this month, when my Patreons voted for the buddy read, it was a tie between City of Brass and Fourth Wing. So I kind of had like a tiebreaker round on Instagram, and Fourth Wing won. But this was so close. So many people wanted it that I put it as an option again for this month, and it was chosen. I am so excited. I feel like I have been needing to read this series for so long. It's a little bit ridiculous that I haven't gotten to it. I've had friends telling me forever that I have to read this series. So thank you to my Patreons for picking it as a buddy read, so I will finally get to it. I am so excited about this. This is going to be such a good read, atmospheric, beautiful. I can't wait. So this one will also be added onto the list, but I feel like it's already quite manageable, so this should not add like extra stress. Plus, I'm really looking forward to it, so that'll help as well. Okay, that is my TBR for the month of July. This is a reasonable TBR. I should be able to finish it. I actually have so much confidence in this one that it's making me a little bit nervous, because I feel like whenever I'm overconfident, then I just don't read them. I need like a healthy amount of fear to get myself to read a lot at the beginning of the month to make sure I get through the books that I need to. So maybe I should be a little less confident. Like, it's almost to the point of arrogance at this point. You know what I mean? So I should really just have a little bit of the nervousness so that I have some drive and some push to read these books towards the beginning of the month. But still, I feel confident in it. I feel good about it. I have like a lot of driving that I'm going to be doing. I have like some alone time that I will have where I'm not really going to have my husband around. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get a lot of reading in this month. I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to these books. Let me know which books you are looking forward to in the month of July, and let me know which books from my June TBR that you feel like I just absolutely have to read that maybe I should pull over to this month as well. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more from me, see how I do with this TBR, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.